Hey everyone, today I'm going to combine my two favourite things, card making and diamond painting. Here is how I store my leftover diamond drills from the diamond paintings. These are the squares in these jars, but today I'm actually going to use the rounds to complete my project. This is the project that I completed that created all of these spare leftover diamond drills, and it's from Diamond Art Club. I've gone through and I've put all of my leftovers into colour combinations that I think might work for some interesting cards. Some of them are better than others, but it is truly amazing that this many colours were in that piece of artwork. The first thing I have here is some shimmer paper. I'm going to use this as one of the highlight elements. I also have this rectangle peekaboo window dynamics from MFT, and this helps me cut out a rectangle in a really consistent way on a standard white piece of cardstock. You can see a few of the different colour combinations that I've created here in action, and I'm going to show you how I did it. The first thing to do is die cut all of the pieces of cardstock, and I have done that off camera. Now I'm running through and adding a piece of double-sided adhesive behind the window. I'm just using scrapbook.com double-sided tape, and I will link below to everything I've used in the video so that you can track it down if you would like to. Now I'm just using a standard multi-placer tool, and I've got a jumble of colours, and I am paying absolutely no attention to where I put them onto this little rectangle. The whole intent is to use up my spare round drills to create an interesting project, but not for it to take too much time. So diamond painting, when you're putting something in a specific space, can be very precise, and it can also take time to switch out the colours. So for this particular project, I wanted to use up what I had so they don't go to waste and create something that I think is going to look pretty interesting. If you don't have the same rectangle die that I have here, then if you have anything in your crafting stash, so something that could help you create a square or a rectangle, then you could recreate this card yourself. I do love the extra stitching around it because even though this card is quite simple, that allows it to add a little bit of interest without it being too time consuming and too over the top. I'm currently running this at 3 speed, so this was super quick. And in terms of lining things up, everything fits perfectly into this rectangle. So as long as I'm consistently laying down the lines of diamonds and I'm pressing them firmly into the double-sided tape, I didn't have any problems with popping drills or anything not being where I wanted it to be. So I was really pleased with how this process went. I feel like with something like a card, someone's going to enjoy it and maybe put it on the shelf for the duration of their birthday, or if it's a thank you card, but it really doesn't need to be something that's going to stand up and hold for multiple years. So to me, this was a perfect balance. After I had finished adding all of the diamonds, I ran through with a roller and I pressed it really firmly to make sure that everything was straight and everything was well attached to the adhesive. I'm now running through and I'm cutting down these front panels, and I'm cutting them down to 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And the way that I did this is I'm actually lining it up with the guide on my trimmer. So originally when I did these panels, I didn't try and line up the die perfectly. I put it generally where I wanted it, but if it was slightly wonky, I knew that when I trimmed these panels down, I would be able to correct that. So the die cutting was way easier than if I had tried to be very precise, and using my trimmer to make that nice and square really helped out a lot. As part of the design, I'm using shimmer paper to separate the white card base from the white front panel, and I'm cutting these down to 5 3/8 and 4 1/8. This is just going to create a nice highlight around the panel without making it look too busy. Next up, I'm going through and I am stamping my sentiments. Today I used 2 different sentiments. One is a simple happy birthday and the other is you're amazing. I went through and did a combination of the sentiments on the front of the cards, and honestly you could do anything here. Any kind of message, you could do different themes for Christmas and Valentine's Day and other holidays. For me, I use a lot of birthday cards and a lot of thank you cards, so you'll tend to see that that's what I gravitate to the most. And also encouragement cards perhaps. So the fact that there's a card that says you're amazing, you could give that as a thank you card, or you could also give that as an encouragement card also. If you're enjoying the video, it would be great if you could hit the like button. That is how YouTube knows to share it to more viewers. And I am targeting getting to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's not looking like I'll make it, but if you are interested in subscribing, then please hit the button. I really appreciate it. The next step is matching up one of the shimmer papers with the color combination of the diamond drills. And this one was really easy because obviously there's a lot of the bright green in the drills themselves. What I did find is when I put this layer behind, it peeks through the round drills. Therefore, if you use something really bright, it keeps the drill pattern looking bright and cheerful. If you put something darker, like the navy or the brown, then it does darken up that panel. It still looks really pretty in real life, but I just wanted to mention that because it did cross my mind that for some of the ones where I used navy, for example, it darkened up the blue drills. So potentially what I would do is put a white panel directly behind the double-sided tape, and then I would use the navy still as that line separator. Right here you can see me, I'm sorting through them all, and there are so many different color combinations. I tried to do a few of each, so I had some to show you, and they would be perfect for different people. These would even be perfect to actually create a card set. So you could create bulk of these, put different sentiments on them, and then bundle them up as potentially a birthday or Christmas gift for somebody. Let me know below if I am using way too many technical terms for card makers. I'm really aware that there might be people just trying to use up their leftover diamond drills and they're really not sure what I'm talking about when I talk about die cutting, etc. If that's the case, let me know below and I'll come up with a design that's a little bit more simplified that would be easier for someone who just had basic supplies at home rather than the things that most card makers have, such as trimmers and die cutting machines, etc. In terms of the volume of diamond drills that are used on each card, the rectangle is 21 by 16 drills, so it's 336, which is roughly 1.5 to 2 grams of drills per card. This might seem like a lot, but I got through, I think like 80 to 90 cards, and I barely put a dent in the leftovers from my previous Diamond Art Club kit. And that kit was, I think, about 42 by 50 something centimeters, so it was not a large kit and there was loads and loads of leftovers. So rather than throwing them in the trash, I found a great use for them. I am just finishing up this one here with the brown, and you can see how it really does darken up the drills like I talked about earlier. I still love it. I think it's a really great looking design, but just to be aware that you could make an alternate choice. I have put some videos here that I think you might enjoy. Have a great day.